What's going on, everybody? You're listening to 91.3 FM WTSR at the College of New Jersey, and this is the weekly Smash Wrap, where we bring you stories from the underground world of fighting games here at TCNJ, throughout New Jersey, and the world. I'm Owen King, known at tournaments as Oscar Wilde Fan 69, and this is
Casey. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here, and I just want to thank Owen for bringing me onto the show, and I'm excited to talk about Smash.
Let's Go. Smash Bros. All right. So, to tell you a little bit about what the show is going to be about, we're just going to give you some of the odd and interesting and zany tidbits and anecdotes that go around here in the New Jersey Smash scene. And real quick, I'm going to tell you what we have planned for you today. So, first thing, we got some interesting stuff going on at TCNJ, where the two best players at the school are no longer playing Smash anymore. So we're going to be talking about how that's going to affect the rankings here at our school, and we're going to include in our discussion the Rider Smash event that happened the other night. Fun stuff. And we're also going to be making our guesses about who will be number one on the PR this season. That's right. Casey and I have been talking about this at T-Dubs a lot.
Yeah, it's been exciting for sure. So I'm very excited to get into it.
We also have Tri-State Showdown going on. Tri-State Showdown is an invitational for the top 15 from Jersey, New York, and PA. That's going on as we speak. So we'll also be giving you our live reactions to the bracket. On top of that, we got an event calendar that's filling up pretty fast, which we'll redo, of course. And we've also got a specially commissioned Mercer County PR by Shoe Stats, which we'll be going over.
Oh, yeah, I was very excited to get that commissioned. So the results ended up being really interesting. So I'm definitely going to be talking about that a bit later on in the show.
And after that, one final special treat if we get to it, there is an Aura tier list.
we're gonna have that on the show.
That's right.
Oh,
this is an
go.
Aura tier list. If you are a Smash player and in any way can all connected to the TCNJ Smash scene, there's a chance you have been put on the TCNJ Aura tier list. That's right. If you'd like to know how much Aura you have, Smash players of Mercer County, this is the show to listen to.
Oh, it's gonna be a movie.
All right. Starting off, we have the changing competitive landscape at TCNJ. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna do a quick narration.
Ooh, okay, let's go.
So to understand what's going on here at TCNJ right now, this interesting scenario here, I gotta paint you a picture. And that picture goes back to my freshman year when I was young and wide-eyed and impressionable and uncorrupted by the trenches of Smash Ultimate.
Like it's an evil organization.
Like
No, it's chill.
Warping my mind. No, it's really chill.
Yeah.
It's really chill. But I had taken a break from the game for a little while. It was getting me kind of frustrated. But when I came to college, it occurred to me on one of my first nights that I didn't have any friends. and so I went to the lounge and I saw this room full of people playing Smash. And there was this, when I looked at it closer, it turns out it wasn't really a crowd. It was more like a line. And they were all lined up against one person. And I think you know where I'm going with this.
That was Kenny, a.k.a. Shineburst.
That's right. That was our boy. And I was thinking, well, God, I don't play Smash anymore. It's gonna keep warping my mind. But then I'm like, well, I got to make friends in college. So I sat down, and the tension was mounting in the room. It was a very tense situation because, to my surprise, I started winning. I was like,
oh,
yes, I know. But then it came down to last stock, last hit. But I won that game.
Wow.
I took it home as Toon Link. And
There
everyone
we
in the
go.
room, this is a real story. They lifted me up and they carried me out.
I mean, you're light enough. I could see that happening.
I mean, clearly, it did not take them much effort. They got me all the way back to my room.
Nice. I love that. I love that for you.
But what's interesting, though, is that I thought I was the GOAT because I was playing my best character and I won. But
Yep.
This Shineburst character, that was his 10th best character, Peach.
Oh, the Shineburst Peach. Oh my goodness. They really don't know about the classic Shineburst Peach. It's kind of that's just go-to sort of litmus test character.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
to see if
of
you're good at the game.
Yeah, see if you're good at the game.
he did that to me with Ganon one time in ICOF. You know how they did they do like the gaming day at ICOF where they stream
Yeah.
Smash? He did that to me on stream. I almost took a game off of Sephiroth, and I guess he didn't like that, so he switched to Ganon and
Oh,
three-stocked me.
wow. Nice.
Anyway, the point where I was going with that was I got talking to Shineburst a little bit after that, and he told me, yeah, I'm taking a break from the game too, but I'm coming back because I want to be #1 on the TCNJ PR. And I was thinking, I mean, investing in Smash again just to gatekeep, that's hater energy if you ask me, but
And that's why we love him.
that's why we love Shineburst. And he actually did it too, because like, for how many years was Xavier like top 1 before
Listen, Xavier, if you guys don't know, is sort of the goat of TCNJ Smash Ultimate tournaments. He not only is a tournament organizer, but ever since he stepped into the scene in the fall of 2021, he has been top 2 in the college from fall 2021 to fall 2023. He was #1 on the power rankings in 4 out of those 5 semesters. So he
Dang.
really has a legacy of being one of the greats, not just in TCNJ, but in South Jersey and New Jersey in general.
that. And that's why it was so surprising, because like Kenny's first tournament, he took Xavier to grand finals.
Yeah.
And I think it I don't know if it was I don't know exactly what the score was, but it was just kind of insane to see like the kid who'd come out of nowhere in grand
Yeah.
finals at TCNJ.
At the time, he was playing Sephiroth and Fox, and those are 2 very good characters, but it wasn't until later he found his real calling card with Roy. Even with the Sephiroth and Fox, he was able to take at least 1 game off of Xavier during those sets, and for someone out of TCNJ to even take a single game off of him, was impressive. But obviously, as time went on, we get to like October, November of 2023, and Kenny decides he starts picking up the Roy, and
Yeah.
the rest is
Yeah.
kind of history.
Well, he did. What was his first tournament? I think his first tournament was
It was
Queen.
it was his first tournament with Roy.
The first one he won.
Oh, the first one he won was
That was
at
Queen.
Queen. Yes.
Yeah. But he got really close the one before, I think, because we were just honestly
Yes.
surprised that the Pocket Roy was so hot, like right out the gate.
Yeah.
But then what happened was he didn't get #1 that season, obviously, but the next season he did.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is that was the season Xavier started stepping back from the game a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. There was a little bit, I feel like, a foreshadowing where Xavier wasn't playing, I guess, as seriously during the spring 2024 semester. We weren't getting those high octane, like, Game 5 classics like we were during fall 2023.
Mhm.
So we started to see Shineburst begin to sort of take a step ahead and secure that #1 placement in the spring of 2024.
Well, what's happening now is that like Xavier doesn't even really play at TCNJ anymore.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that is we went to a Super Hops and Hits in Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he got matchup checked at.
Sorry, this is such a funny story.
It's a hilarious story. Brian going O2 and Guilty Gear, and
Yeah.
like talking about it the whole time after, like he didn't just get second place in Street Fighter.
Yeah, but then the Smash Ultimate bracket, Shineburst kind of ran into some frustrating character matchups.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he played against, he nobly played against Gray, who is a very good South Jersey player, recently made PR in South Jersey's power rankings, and he is known for playing Mii Gunner, who is not one of the best characters in the game, but is one of the more annoying characters in the game. And yeah, he ended up defeating Shineburst, and that was kind of a turning point for Kenny, where he was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna put me first. I don't really want to deal with these.
Putting
Lane
himself
characters.
first. That's a good way of putting it.
Exactly.
Because he was like at that point he started, like after that he started going secondaries in bracket,
Yeah.
and he still won like often,
Yeah, 'cause
which is
he's
the
really
funny
good.
part.
He'll play like Corrin, he'll play Marsh.
Incineroar.
Yeah.
The Kenny Incineroar was crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of been his main character ever since that event. I feel like for as good and as prolific as his Roy was,
Yeah.
he just didn't have as much fun playing Roy compared to other characters, even though it was his best.
What he said to me is like he said the game was getting kind of flowcharty for him. Like it
Yeah.
seemed like it was doing the same thing every time to win. But he's
Yeah.
just like he told us this semester that he's now like Dunzo with Smash. He's not playing. He said he will not play a single game of Smash Ultimate at TCNJ, except he told this to me the other night, to gatekeep people he doesn't want getting PR.
Exactly. And that will be very interesting for sure. I mean, Kenny has spent the past 3 semesters being a top 2 player minimum at TCNJ. And this past semester in fall 2024, he barely made the qualifications to make the power rankings at TCNJ.
Though he was still number one.
Oh, yeah, no, he for sure was number 1. I mean, he ended up entering 5 tournaments last semester. The requirement to make the power rankings last semester was 4 tournaments. So he was able to just barely make it through with entering 3 of the 3 final tournaments in a row. But this next semester, it's looking like he's going to be more focused on, Street Fighter 6,
Yeah.
Rivals of Aether 2. He's really good at Rivals of Aether 2.
He won a couple fusions.
Yeah, he
Right.
won some big local tournaments. He brought a veteran Smash turned Rivals Aether player to his breaking point, which was,
Wait, I didn't hear about this.
dude. I don't want to put him on blast. I love Haven, to be clear. Haven is my guy, but he he lost the Shine Burst a lot. And listen, I would know from experience, losing the Shine Burst, like, it feels
It's not fun.
is demoralizing.
It's great because he's like oh, sorry, tech troubles. So anyway, jumping off of that, now I wanted to ask you, so we can bring it back to TCNJ. How do we go about calculating PR? Because it's we get one every season, obviously, but sometimes it feels like to me it's a little up in the air, like how it's calculated. You know what I mean? Because like if
Yeah.
you look at the Mercer County stats PR, it's definitely a little different.
Yeah, no, that's one of the main things that we saw when we got the commissioned shoe stats, power rankings for Mercer County as a whole. Shoe stats, he has that sort of like calculated algorithm or methodology that helps get that sort of statistical ranking. But for TCNJ, we have our panel of tournament organizers who help sort of make and determine who gets ranked highly on the power rankings and how things get ordered. So what I sort of do is that I have a big document that documents all of the results of each of these TCNJ tournaments and each of the players' results, at those tournaments. And we have each player's head-to-head rankings, and we obviously also have the history of their rankings beforehand and afterward, and so on and so forth. And normally what we do, our panel deliberates on, we take all these rankings and we take the head-to-heads and we sort of discuss amongst ourselves, like, who should be, number 1, number 2, number 7, etc. And it's a pretty, I would say, democratic process where sort of each of us in this panel sort of have each of our own input. You know what I mean?
That makes sense because like there's definitely not enough like numerical data at TCNJ to really grind out a stat sheet.
Yeah, and there's always been a little bit of controversy of having like sort of statistical outputs for rankings because depending on how you value certain performances, like if you're the type of person that values a high placement versus having strong head-to-head matchups, you might make yourself your own different algorithm that people might disagree with the rankings, where like each algorithm is consistent to a person's specific measurements of what constitutes a great player. But having the panel and having the sort of manual discussion means that we kind of combine and balance between all of our different ideas of what we consider is a great player.
So with that in mind, like, how close was the last PR panel in like decisions? Because like, again, looking on the Mercer County thing, which we'll get to in a bit later, it's like some of us are decimal points apart from each other.
Yeah, that's definitely how it feels when we did the sort of manual discussions and we sort of sat down and said, okay, who are going to be the best? Who are we going to rank as the best players in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at TCNJ? It was really, really difficult, especially this season when we had so many just anomalies for performances throughout the semester in fall 2024.
Keat for
Um,
one.
yeah, Keat for one, that really messed things up. So Keat, he was a freshman who ended up withdrawing from TCNJ, but he was on track to be like their number 2, number 3 player at the
Yeah, because
college.
he was taking sets off Shineburst, right?
I don't believe so, but he was taking sets off of really good players. He was taking sets off of Wheezy, who has been on the South Jersey PR before, I believe. Took multiple sets off of Amigbob, one of the legendary tournament goers here in New Jersey, and also got wins against like Curl Dog, Jay Yankee, etc.
Yeah, an Odd McBob win. That is insane.
Yeah, multiple.
But Keat is gone now though. He withdrew, so he's not going to be around this season.
Yeah, I hope he's doing well, man. Shout out to Keat if you're listening. Um, the TCNJ team still has a lot of love for you, so
Oh yeah, for
you know,
sure,
yeah.
for sure. Hope you're listening, Keat.
For sure. But nevertheless, yeah, it was extremely difficult. Like, for example, if we take a look at, I would say especially like from deliberating between, I mean, the first and second players were pretty clear. Shineburst was ranked as the best player at TCNJ in fall 2024.
Off of
And
5
then,
tournaments.
yep. And then second was BJR, Brian, the King K Rule player, who has been a PR player also ever since he entered TCNJ. He was number 2 on the rankings. And then after that, it was a complete toss up. So, for example, we look at a player like Kevin JSI.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Kevin. I'm the world's biggest Kevin fan. I'm telling you, but his placement was a little controversial. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, a lot of controversy around where Kevin should be placed. You know, some people are like, Kevin sucks. He should be number 9 or something like that. And then obviously a lot of people are arguing that maybe he should be a little bit higher on the list. Kevin is a very and by the way, Kevin JSI is a Byleth player. He is a senior, and he has been one of the head tournament organizers also of the college.
Oh, yeah. He's really good at it. He's done it for a long time.
Oh yeah, he's already a legend in the community. But this season was extremely strange.
Because first of all, an Ice on Deck win.
Yeah, and to be clear, Ice on Deck is one of the best players in Delaware, and has historically come to these TCNJ tournaments and performed extremely well. Has won, I believe, a few TCNJ tournaments as well, and so that him getting that shocking win over Ice on Deck is one of the biggest upsets of, really like TCNJ history for Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, because like to put it in perspective, like Ice is a guy who goes to events all over like New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I think he goes to Fusions.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he does, but I know he goes to a lot of other locals. I know he's up in northern Pennsylvania as well.
Oh yeah,
going to tournaments.
Sure. And this man was number 2 in Delaware for a while.
Yeah, number 2 in Delaware, dude.
And Kevin JSI, he just goes to TCNJ.
He just goes to TCNJ. He is not. I don't think he's ever been to a single he's maybe been like 1 or 2 tournaments outside TCNJ.
I don't even think he's ever been to a hyperspace.
No, he's been to one. He's for sure been to one.
Right.
Hyperspace was a tournament that was right next to TCNJ at Quaker Bridge Mall, but it's no longer here with us. Rest in peace, Hyperspace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Hyperspace.
Oh my goodness.
EO the TO,
Shout out to EO the TO,
for real.
bro. EO, the tournament organizer of Hyperspace, is also a TCNJ mainstay. He goes to these TCNJ tournaments and supports the scene. So
if we could put EO on PR, we would, because he would be number 1, or maybe number 1 just off vibes.
He'll be up there. For sure. But Kevin JSI, he had very inconsistent performances. Like he went 0-2.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
At the third biweekly tournament at TCNJ, which is a pretty big knock on his resume, is that he has extremely inconsistent placements. He got 9th place at the Retroop number 5.
Was that his highest?
Yeah, that's when he beat Ice on Deck, and when we were all sort of in shock. He also has a win over Sean, a.k.a. Hamburrito, at the first Retroop, where Kevin placed 9th as well. Hamburrito, a.k.a. Sean, has been a South Jersey PR contender as well for a significant amount of time. So that was also a pretty huge win. But we also saw him, get 25th at Retroop 3. 17th at Retroop 2.
Yeah.
Has losses against players like Dazuba. Has losses against like Miker and Joko.
Yeah.
It's a little controversial, but he ended up sneaking into the top 5, getting 5th place. On
Yeah,
that
it's a
power
tough one.
rankings.
It's a tough one because like the ice on deck win, obviously that's just insane. But it's like another thing too. The problem with I think going off placements is that you can get a lot just by showing up every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and there definitely are some unlucky bracket runs that people
Yeah.
run into, but I think it was like some of the head-to-heads where Kevin was losing against some of the TCNJ players as well, where like he
Yeah.
has a loss against Miker, for example, has 2 losses to Tempo as well. So it was kind of hard to put him much higher up on the list, but he definitely has like some of the highest potential.
Oh, I agree with that.
yeah.
Definitely a crazy potential.
And it's insanely impressive that he's been able to do this well because he, like, the whole summer, he was, like, in a research lab in, like, Florida, like, doing, obviously, a bunch of academic and, like, internship stuff. So the fact that he was able to just pick Smash back up and be as good as he's ever been at the game is very impressive.
It's interesting, like about the inconsistency thing, because in another way, who my pick would be for number 1 next season, Brian. Like Brian's another player who's
Mm.
really good, but is also not consistent at all. No offense, Brian.
Yeah, if we...
I'm not. He's probably more consistent than me, but still, BJR, you're very inconsistent.
Oh my goodness. I mean, listen, Brian, he placed number 2 on the TCNJ Power Rankings for the fall of 2024, and it came off the strength of some really strong wins, and as well as some very good head-to-head matchups. For example, defeating the likes of myself and Dazuba, Zam, well, that wins. Yeah, he has a win over Apokwa and Playmaker, as well as a win over Tempo. So he was able to get some strong wins. His biggest one being his win versus TFJ. He did have a 1-2 record against TFJ for the semester, but he was one of the few TCNJ players to take a set off of the Ryder Snake player to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah, if you've ever been to a Ryder tournament, you'll know he's very, very good. Like
Mhm.
TCNJ players never beat him. It's
Yeah.
crazy though. Where was the TFJ win at Ryder? Or was that it's a retroop event?
Yeah. He has the win at the TCNJ event. And so Brian has also like sort of up and down placements. You know, got 17th at Retroop 4, but he did have some unlucky bracket runs. He did have that loss to Nick Fury, I believe, at Retroop number 4, where Nick Fury got accidentally unseated and ended up going on a crazy run. But he also did get a top 8 placement. He was one of two. He was one of 2 of the PR players on TCNJ's power rankings to make a top 8 at TCNJ tournament.
You want to tell them who the
this
other one was?
semester. It was Shineburst.
Wait, what?
Multiple times.
Are you talking about players that made top 8 once at retroop?
No, I'm talking about TCNJ players on the power rankings who made top 8 at a given tournament, TCNJ tournament,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. Yeah, and it was
Yeah,
Shineburst.
I got 7th one time.
It was Brian. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, wow. You
Put
know
some
what?
respect
Hey,
on my
I'm kind of nice
name.
to it, though. Yeah, yo, Oscar Wilde, he kind of nice. I forgot about that. Wow. I'm sorry, Owen.
Hey, it's
Dang.
alright.
That's unfortunate. Yo, that was that was the very last retroop. I forgot about
We
that.
here at the
Dang.
Weekly Smash Rap love spreading misinformation.
Dude, what's also crazy is that you also had like a very up and down season, you know.
That's what I'm
First
saying too.
retroop, you got 25th, you know, and you have some unfortunate L's, some unfortunate losses against Aquatic Pixel,
Yeah, I don't know how that
Z-Foy,
happened, but I also lost against
Loose
Dazuba.
Grip, Dazuba, but you do have some big wins, including one versus BJR, of course, which ushered you into the top 8 of the 7th TCNJ tournament of the semester. So you're still able to make 8th place.
But
on
once
the power
again, that goes back to the Brian thing about like.
Oh, wait, I also forgot that Dazuba made top 8 at Retroop 5. Wait,
He did too.
Wait. Okay, I actually just spread some crazy misinformation 2 minutes ago. So you're going to have to disregard everything I said because remember at Retroop number 5, again, this kind of goes to show how wild the semester was in terms of placements and like highs and lows. At Retroop number 5, we had 2 different TCNJ players make their top 8 debut. Tempo getting 5th place at Retroop number 5.
Wait, Tempo got his first top 8 this season?
Yeah, his first at like an official
Yeah.
TCNJ tournament. He got top 8 at the TCNJ only invitational. But in terms of like an open bracket, this is his first time making a top 8 at TCNJ tournament. He got wins. I believe that was when he beat the Zuba to make it into top 6, and also beat Kevin JSI, who obviously was coming off of that crazy performance against Ice on Deck. And then the Zuba, he defeated a Bowser player who is very good. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his tag on air, but he's a very good player. And when he beat him, dude, like the crowd like exploded.
Ooh, I didn't
We were
even
going
know about this
crazy.
actually. This certain unnamed Bowser player was really was really beaten by Dazuba.
Yeah.
These are like
There's
these
a
are like
player-
FBI documents.
Yeah, though this was a player that I lost to a few tournaments ago as well.
Yeah. Oh, he got you too.
Yeah,
Dazuba just went on a tear. I think he got every like TCNJ player besides maybe Brian, Xavier, and Shineburst at least once.
Yeah, the thing about Dazuba is that he has always been an incredible player, but he just obviously, you know, as a music major, as a part of, I believe, like the TCNJ band, he is extremely busy with
Yeah.
academic obligations, even more so than other people, especially on Fridays. That's just how his schedule is played out, but he was able to fit time in his schedule to make
Yeah.
time for the TCNJ Smash tournaments, and he attended, I believe, 6 of the 8 tournaments this semester, and he played incredibly, making number 6 on the power rankings, peaking with a 7th place finish at Retroop number 5.
Dang, I didn't know Dazuba was that nice with it.
Yeah.
But I guess that, yeah, like it's weird. Like I would never say Dazuba would be like number 1, at least not with his current like commitments and stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit tough.
But it's just kind of,
he's a dark horse, though.
I don't think there's. Does TCNJ have like a single consistent player besides like Xavier and Shineburst?
I mean, I'm consistently mid.
I wasn't gonna say you were consistently mid, but I was gonna say that the only consistent player at TCNJ might be Casey Noah,
Yeah.
because you got like a string of exactly 9th place finishes, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
So, hello everybody again. My tag is Casey. My name is Noah. You can just call me Noah. But listen, I was number 3 on the
That's
TCNJ Power Rankings. That is sort of my career high. I made it a goal of mine to finish the semester in the top 3. That was kind of my main ambition. Over the past 2 semesters, I've been in the top 5, but I want to sort of elevate my gameplay. And I guess I got my wish in the sense that I got 3rd. But I've said this before, the monkey's paw kind of curled to where it felt like a very, it didn't feel like a great, like super earned 3rd place placement because of Keat dropping out, because of Xavier shifting his focus.
I
to,
believe a certain mouse was mentioned.
tournament. We were calling it a Mickey Mouse placement.
I don't think it was
If you know,
Mickey
you
Mouse.
know.
No, consistently 9th place is like really good at TCNJ.
I keep
events.
bubbling out of top 8. And for you guys to know, I had a 5 tournament streak where Retroop number 3, I got 9th place. Number 4, I got 13th, and I had to disqualify early because I had an event to attend to. Then at Retroop 5, I got 9th again. At Retroop 6, I got 9th again. And at Retroop number 7, I got 9th again.
Oh, let's go.
And then I got 25th at Queen because that was a super stacked tournament. But
I think I got even lower. I think I got like 36.
you got 33rd.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go. 3 places higher than I thought.
Hey, shout out to Dazuba who got 17th. At
What?
that tournament. He made top 24.
Another
at
Dazuba
Queen.
dark horse moment.
I know.
They
Dude,
hit me like
people-
jump scares.
People don't talk about like Dazuba be having good performances, man. That's my guy.
We gotta get this man to rider events.
Exactly, dude. He was able to get a win on Slanderous and Kevin JSI on his way to top 24. Only being taken down by A9, who is literally the best player in South Jersey, and then Sickle, who is a very strong player as well.
Yeah, A9 literally just made it to he made it out of pools at Tri-State Showdown. So
He
that
did.
should show you what kind of player.
Hey,
A9 is.
congratulations, man. A9 putting on for South Jersey. I didn't know he made it to I don't know. I didn't even know he qualified for Tri-State Showdown. That's like Tri-State Showdown being the big tournament between all the different players across Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey.
But that might be a good place to take a break real quick. So play a quick bumper, and then we'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Weekly Smash Wrap, and we're going to be continuing our discussion about the TCNJPR, working in the Rider event from Friday into our predictions. And then a little bit later on, we'll give you Tri-State Showdown, and then at the very end, as a special treat, the Aura tier list.
That's what I'm really excited about. But
that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah, but before we get into that, I want to sort of talk about, now that the beginning of the semester is coming, we do have sort of some predictions to make, right?
We do have predictions.
And just to give you guys a quick little recap of the fall 2024 power rankings for TCNJ Smash Ultimate Scene. At number 10, we had Pocket. At number 9, we had Miker. Number 8, we had Oscar Wilde, or Owen right here. We had Apokwa at number 7. Dazuba at number 6. Kevin JSI made the top 5. Tempo rose all the way to number 4. And then our top 3 was myself, Casey, BJR at number 2, and number 1 was Shineburst.
So Casey, what is your number 1 pick? I don't know if you want to go first or I should. But
my number 1 pick?
I'll tell you. Want me to tell you mine?
What is it?
Mine is 100% BJR.
Ooh, 100%.
I'm going.
Okay, interesting.
Well, okay. Well, here's why. The reason I think that is because no matter what, like even if he doesn't place as well, there is always the chance of Brian getting some crazy win that nobody asked for.
That nobody asked for is hilarious.
Because it happens every semester.
Yeah.
Like you can never know when Brian's gonna have one of those days where he takes 10 stocks at a crew battle.
Yeah.
You really don't know. And like even though his placements were that consistent, like he never went 0-2.
Yep.
That's honestly such like a big thing. Just never going 0-2. I think.
Always able to come out of there with at least one victory. And normally he came out with multiple. So I definitely can see a rationale there. I think that's a very strong prediction.
And it's also too because he has really good set records against like everybody a few places below him. Like last time I checked, he's 4-0 against Tempo. I think. I don't think Tempo has ever beaten Brian.
Don't believe so.
We also have he's 6-4 against me.
Yeah.
And he's like 5-1 against you. It's kind of messed up what he's doing.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. With how strong he's been against the TCNJ opponents, that's been his main calling card as to why he's been ranked so high, is because he has always been able to take care of business when it comes to head-to-head rivalry matchups. So he definitely is the favorite to be number 1 on the TCNJ Power Rankings this coming spring, now that it seems like Shineburst and Xavier are not going to be entering the TCNJ tournaments. So I think that's a very strong prediction. I have a prediction.
Hit me with it.
And that prediction for number 1 at TCNJ in spring 2025 is myself.
No.
It's gonna be me. And I'm calling my shot like Babe Ruth.
Attention, everyone at TCNJ. Casey just basically said you suck.
I have officially declared war on BJR. And I'm saying, you know what?
No.
Now is my time. I'm going to become technically the best Smash Ultimate player at the College of New Jersey, formerly known as Trenton State. Listen, I have been playing this game competitively. I've been going to tournaments since summer of 2022. So I'm getting near 3 years of experience at this point. And obviously, there have been a lot of ups and downs. You can take a look at my records and you can see that obviously I've had a lot of ups and downs. And normally, in the grander scheme of New Jersey Smash Ultimate, I'm not one of the stronger players in the scene. And that is still very true to this day. But the reason why I am making this claim, one, is because I think it'll be funny.
That would be really funny.
It would be really funny if I made number one. And also, I think I am in a very good competitive mindset this semester compared to previous semesters. I'm genuinely having a good time practicing with people. I'm having a good time not only winning, but I'm having a good time losing as well. I feel like I've taken my losses extremely well over the past several months. I feel like I've been incredibly composed as of lately. As I sort of bring that mental aspect of Smash Ultimate together, I think I could have major strides. And I feel like the sort of proof of concept came last Friday at Bronx Barrel Blast number 7 at Rider University. You want to talk about that?
I heard both pop-offs from the other side of the room.
Yeah, no, I had some very passionate wins against
Dog and Wob.
And Wob, yes. I got 7th place, for those unaware, at Bronx Barrel Blast number 7, which is the bi-weekly tournament at Rider University, which is only a 5-10 minute drive from here. And in that tournament run, it was a brief one. I went 2-2. Obviously, I lost to Sentinel, who was one of the best players in Mercer County, and then I lost to Menchu, and that was his first tournament back in a long time. So we were very happy to see Menchu back in action.
The loss still hurts, though. He beat me too.
Yeah, I get you. I ended up taking him to game 5, and I just kind of ran out of steam. But I felt good about how I played in general. Like I was just happy to play against him again. So I was just happy to again play him. But I ended up getting a win against Curl Dog.
Oh yeah.
And for those unaware, over the past 2.5 years, I've been playing Curl Dog, and I beat him the first time that we played against each other nearly 3 years ago at this point. Ever since then, he has won 13 straight sets against me over the past 2.5 years.
Oh, it was not 13. What? Oh, dang.
13 straight.
13 straight.
Of just getting dominated by this Dragon Ball fan. The Curl Dog's one of my best friends. We banter a little bit, but I ended up adapting, I feel like, really well. I beat Incineroar game 1. And I lost to Sephiroth game 2, but in the third and final game of this best of 3 match, I feel like I ended up adapting extremely well. I was specifically maneuvering around his attacks using the platforms of Pokemon Stadium 2. The stage counter pick ended up working out in my favor, and I was able to really play the matchup at a high level that I quite honestly have never had before, because people know that I do have a big Sephiroth problem. So I had a huge pop off against him when I won. I did pop off so hard I lost my voice. Obviously,
like you don't understand. Like the whole room just like silence swept over the room for a second.
I let out a little primal roar for the people. Obviously, I apologize to everyone for the noise disturbance, but
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, people were cool with it, so I'm glad that people felt my joy and a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, a little shared experience, a little communal spiritual experience.
I felt so bad for Curl Dog though, but he ended up feeling better after it. But I was like, dang, I hate to be the one, to pop off on him. But I also ended up beating Wob, who I have never beaten before, in bracket as well. So that was also a huge accomplishment for me. So I felt very happy about that as well. So I think that tournament, if I can continue to play like I was during that tournament, I feel like I can make a case for being the best player at TCNJ this coming semester.
That's a pretty inspired case.
I appreciate that.
I mean, the only thing I can see with you is like I think in addition to a Sephiroth problem, I don't know how bad your Sephiroth problem is, but I think honestly more than that, I think you have a Brian problem. I think you have a BTR
Yes,
problem.
for sure. Listen, there's been me and Brian have had a bit of a one-side rivalry over the past 2 years. He's kind of had my number in bracket, but I've played against him a lot. Practicing against him, playing friendly matches against him, and in terms of our main characters, Palutena versus King K. Rool, over the past couple of weeks, I have been consistently defeating him in friendly matches. And obviously, there's only so much stock you can put into that. The
Yeah.
environment of a tournament setting is completely different than just a friendly match. But I feel like if I can translate the skills that I've implemented in those friendly matches
Mm.
to a tournament, if I face him in bracket, I feel like I can defeat him.
All I'll say is Brian was saying he wishes he could play in tournament like he plays in friendlies. But if you're beating him in friendlies,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I
maybe one day he'll be thinking, I wish I could play like I do in tournament, like I do in friendlies.
exactly.
If you start taking sets off him,
Oh,
which
for
would be
sure.
really funny.
But obviously, all this talk would mean nothing without some action. So I am looking forward to backing up my claims at this coming tournament. I could be now to be clear, I could be saying all of this and like go 0-2 at the next couple tournaments. I could like completely become trash at the game, but I want to aim for number one because I feel like it would be not only would it be good for me to do that, I think it would be good for the TCNJ community to bring back that competitive spirit that we
That's
saw
true. Because
like
without
in the
like
fall of
Xavier and
2023.
Shineburst, like we don't like it's
It's
right
become
now. It's kind of open and shut. Who's going to be number one a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that I can bring some of that competitive flair. I do want to briefly go over some of the wild card picks for number one though, or
Okay.
even players that can maybe burst into the top five, for example. Now we did have Tempo have a really sort of breakout semester, finally
I was
bring it
just
all
about to bring
together
up
with the
Tempo.
Daekong.
Just about to bring up Tempo. He he surprised me being that high up on the list. He really did.
Yeah.
Because like for a while, first of all, to put this in perspective, for a while this man didn't even own a Switch. And
What's crazy? That's not even true. That was
what?
just a rumor. Yeah, Xavier kind of spread this rumor because he thought that Connor didn't own a Switch. He just didn't
You're
bring
kidding
his
me.
Switch with him to TCNJ. Yeah, but the more you, dude, Owen, you guys can't see this right now, but Owen is like so like his face is in so much shock right now. It's really funny.
You got to be kidding me. I had this whole bit planned about how Tempo didn't own a Switch. And instead it's just another Xavier misinformation moment.
Well, that's RTO baby. Shout out to Xavier.
Shout out Xavier. Shout out Xavier to lying to me.
Anyways, how do you feel about Tempo's improvement throughout the semester?
Well, that's kind of where I was going with that. The improvement arc from already being good without a Switch, though that's clearly a lie, to being so good now.
Yeah,
Either way, he's still gotten really good. He had a bit of a character crisis,
he did.
I think, last semester. Like, he was kind of trying to balance between Ken and Diddy, and he was trying old Greninja.
Yeah,
His Greninja still destroys me for some reason, but he's been playing mostly Diddy and Bracket now.
yeah, Daekong.
And it's been good. It's just like, for all his like consistency against other players on the TCNJ PR, he just has some
he has
crazy
some
losses.
he has some tough matchups, most notably at Retroop number 7. This is also the tournament that kind of secured my spot as number 3 for the fall 2024 power rankings. Is he went 0-2, losing to two different Kirby players. Kirby, which is not considered a very strong character in Smash Ultimate at all, ended up losing to Meebo and Klaba, which were absolutely massive upsets to
Yeah.
put it lightly.
Because that wouldn't normally happen, like, period.
Yeah,
Or at least because, like, Tempo, what was Tempo's best win last semester?
he had a lot of big wins, most notably against Magna 259, who has
Ooh, that's
had
good.
multiple strong performances at TCNJ, including, I remember back in King 2024, the big tournament last year, he was able to defeat Noodle, one of the best players in South Jersey.
Oh.
Getting a win over Magna was big. Also has wins over Dazuba, Venture, 2 against Kevin JSI, as well as Miker, Loose Grip, and Apokwa.
Do you think he has a shot at number one? Like a realistic shot? I think he does.
I think it's kind of tough. I think like Connor has to he has to really bring I think consistency is the main thing when it comes to a lot of these players. We know that on any given day, any of these players can take a set off of the very best of them, obviously including tempo, as we've seen last semester. But at the end of the day, and this is something that I feel like I've really been driving home in terms of the advice I've been giving to other people in terms of Smash, you just gotta focus on beating the person in front of you. You know, you gotta beat the person in front of you. Don't look too far into bracket and try to think about potential other player matchups. Just like beat the person in front of you and just keep it moving in the bracket. And I feel like that kind of consistency is very much needed for a lot of these players who have these different ups and downs. If they can sort of, you know, make more consistent their play style, they could have a lot more ups than downs this coming semester.
Definitely, because like a lot of it too is like I think a lot of the performance issues people have are purely mental.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think Smash is like 90, or 70% like a mental game.
100%. Just like it's honestly more about fighting yourself than the opponent sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And looking at some of the other players that have a lot of potential, I mean, we think about Kevin JSI, Dazuba, even yourself. You know, you guys all have really big wins.
It looks like we all had a slight upturn at the end of the season, most of us.
Yeah, I think it took a while for you guys to get back into the swing of things. I think a lot of people took the summer off in terms of practicing the game.
I know I did. Tempo did.
Yeah, Kevin did because he was in Florida doing that research lab.
being a literal scientist.
Yeah, it's still crazy how well he did this past semester. I still can't even begin to process that. But nevertheless, I mean, I think the main contenders, if it's not obviously Kenya or Xavier, because if they even qualify, they're obviously going to be right up there for number one. If it's not them, I think Brian is the favorite. I think I'm not that far behind.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like what you're saying about tempo, like I think he could do it. It's just like I think definitely you and Brian are slated higher for that.
Yeah.
And I think it's honestly for the main reason, kind of for opposite reasons actually. You guys are slated so high.
Mm-hmm.
Brian for being such a loose cannon, and you for being consistent.
Yeah, I very much play to my expectations. I never or I do, but I very rarely overperform or underperform, which can be bad, can be good, but that's just kind of how I've been as a player over the past however many semesters.
Real quick, before we move on to Tri-State Showdown, I want to make sure we cover all our bases with last week's rider.
Yes.
Anything else we'd like to talk about for a rider? To start, I can go through my tournament run.
Sure.
And the answer to that was how my tournament run went. It was a strange one.
Yeah.
It was a strange one. Because I wasn't sure whether to go Cloud or I was thinking of bringing out the Toon Link again. But I wasn't quite sure about it. I was kind of channeling the spirit of Odd McBob a little bit. So
Yeah.
I played a little Toon Link in friendlies.
There we go.
But the thing about my Cloud, it's kind of weird because I didn't play all summer.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get, like Kenny was telling me, or Shineburst was telling me that he thinks my Cloud is already better than my Wolf because I don't miss easy kill confirms anymore. That's because Cloud doesn't really have any kill confirms.
You just sort of get you just get raw stray hits that are powerful enough to take a knockout. Whereas Wolf is much more focused on trying to get the forward air into back air conversions, so on and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. But I came in 9th, but I honestly wasn't too upset about that because I lost to Menchu. And
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And you lost to Venture in Winners,
and I lost to Venture.
Yeah.
But Venture was close. Venture was 2-1.
Mm-hmm. I believe you got 2 different wins, one against Poncho and then another against Chris 6642.
Yep. But I was seeded to win those, but I'm still glad I did.
I think that's good though to sort of hang your hat on because as I mentioned before, just making sure you beat the player in front of you.
Oh yeah, totally.
Making sure preventing people from getting the upset against you, I think is a crucial part of improving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's good that you got those wins, especially since I feel like Poncho has the potential to take upsets on any given night. And I'm not just saying that just because he's taken me to game 3 in the past.
Nah, he's taking
shout out to Nelson, man.
Shout out to Nelson.
Dude, we were at Applebee's after the Rider tournament. Nelson was so upset at Sentinel. But that's a story for another day. Some other notable placements include EO getting the win at this
That's what I wanted
tournament.
to talk about.
He was using the Wii Fit trainer. No more Bowser. Wii Fit.
He told me at Sector X the day Tweak was there. He said, "Yeah, I feel like my Wii Fit needs to be more bracket ready." And I'm like, "Yeah, but didn't your Bowser beat WebJP?" But he's like, "Yeah, but I need a Wii Fit trainer too." I'm like, "All right, buddy."
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really get it, but like his Wii Fit's good, and it won the tournament. So I'm not one to criticize. So shout out to EO for getting the win. In second place was TFJ, the best
That's
player
right.
at Rider University. Number 3 was Gajasa, formerly known as Nick Fury. I believe he is an off-campus Diddy Kong player who has had very strong performances in the
Oh
past.
yeah, he does the Shore Let Smash tournaments down in
Yeah,
Toms River,
he's an
and they're a good
organizer.
time, yeah.
It's
But,
cool to see him travel all the way here. And then in fourth place, we had Crow Dog, who, after losing to me in round 1
How
of
many
winners
sets was that
bracket,
loser won? 5?
5 in a row. Yeah, he beat a bunch of different players, including Meebo, Womp Womp, Apokwa, Venture, and of course the upset against Sentinel. Sentinel ended up getting 5th alongside Menchu, and then tied for 7th place was Venture and myself.
Didn't you go Mega Man against Sentinel?
I went for one game. I've been preparing my Mega Man for the past 2 months now, and it ended up doing okay against his Rob. I took him in last stock. I did end up losing, but I felt good about how my Mega Man played. But I'm definitely going to practice my Mega Man more to make sure that's ready for various other matchups as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting how good your Mega Man got really fast, because it was definitely quick.
I appreciate that.
But and one final thing, I'd just like to note that was funny about Last Rider, is when it got to grand finals, we were
I was so
we were
hungry.
begging for EO to stay in winners.
I was so hungry because also I was worried that Applebee's would we would be like kind of late to Applebee's and it
Yeah.
would be like 11 o'clock and they would have some stuff off the menu.
We go to Applebee's pretty late.
Yeah,
like,
we ended up
sometimes
going
way
at like
past people.
10:30. But if bracket got reset, we probably don't get them until 11 and it's kind of cooked. Yeah, it was game 5. Me and a couple other people were just like, please.
And what's
Let's
crazy
go
too,
Applebee's.
for some reason I look over and TFJ's playing Villager. I'm
Dude,
like, oh,
I've
no.
never in my 20 years of life have seen the TFJ Villager, dude.
It was insane. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna take longer than Snake, but I really, really hope not.
No, it definitely takes longer, dude. Those Villager matches do not play around.
Oh my lord.
But anyways, I mean, that was a great tournament. We've had a lot of exciting tournaments going on. And today, right now, in fact, we have Tri-State
Tri-State
Showdown number
Showdown.
2 going on.
Oh, let's pull up the bracket here. Very excited to talk about Tri-State Showdown, because if you were on Twitter, not too long ago, there was a campaign
Yes.
to get Noodle into Tri-State Showdown,
Yes,
and
the
he
South Jersey
actually
legend.
made it. And I
I
don't know,
voted for him.
is he still? Oh, let's check top 32.
I don't think he made it out of pools.
Please let there be.
He did
Noodle.
not.
Please.
Sorry.
Nah, it's okay.
He went, I believe, he either went 2 or 3 or 3 and 2 in pools. He did get some decent wins, but I mean, because literally everyone at this invitational is incredibly good. Nevertheless, though, he did not make it out of pools. It's been a very interesting bracket. So again, for context, to reiterate, Tri-State Showdown 2 is an invitational tournament featuring, I believe, like 64
That's
of
right.
the best players in what is considered in Smash to be Tri-State. I know, sort of colloquially in Modern Trade, it's like considered Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. But in Super Smash
But we're the
Bros,
real Tri-State.
it's Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey.
And that region is a pressure cooker for this game. Like, it's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. One of the best, if not the best in the world. I think the only arguments would be Japan and Mexico.
Oh, for sure. And so we saw some of the best players in the world. We are seeing some of the best players in the world participate right now. We have WebJP. We have Zamba. We have, I believe, Jackal as well.
Oh, yeah.
Syrup.
Who are you most excited to watch here?
Man,
That's what I'm wondering about because I'm kind of tuned in for Jackal.
listen, as a Palutena player, you know I got root for my boy Marvisi, Marvel. I just call him Marvisi for some reason, but Marvel has been not necessarily an up and comer because he's been playing Wi-Fi since 2020, but at the end of I believe 2023, he started to really rise up as one of the best players in New Jersey, and now he's really established himself as a top tier threat in the New Jersey region. Marvell, one of the best players here in the state, as repping the Palutena, the New Jersey Classic character.
Mm.
And he did lose to WebJP in winners round 1 of the top 32 section of bracket, but it was a game 5 thriller, and he just defeated A9 3-0. So he is sitting pretty in top, I believe, 24. No, top 16 actually.
What's
Yeah.
funny about WebJP too is that we have some local TCNJ players who have beaten WebJP. Like,
EO.
well, not like they don't go to TCNJ, but they're at them frequently, like EO and Ob McBob.
Yes, I
So-
forgot that Omnic beat WebJP.
So if you think about it,
Man,
if you've ever beaten Ob McBob,
you've basically
you've beaten WebJP.
but not a lot of people have beaten Omnic Bob
That's true.
at
That's very
TCJ.
true.
He has won several of these tournaments, to be clear. Looking at the bracket, I mean, we're seeing, some crazy talented players in the loser side bracket. Pharaoh,
Who is Raccoon? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but who is? I just noticed it's 1-1 between this Raccoon Cody guy and Zamba.
Cody is a Peach player and is considered around top 10 in New York. Cody was able to get the big upset, Game 5 over 0-0, the arguably best Zelda player in the world. But even in the losers bracket, we've seen some crazy upsets. We're seeing some incredible players, get down to 25th in bracket when they were expected to make even bigger runs. I mean, we have, for example, Pharaoh, the Yoshi player, top 5 in the state of New Jersey, was at one point number 2 in the state, lost Game 5 to Fawn, the Duck Hunt player, who is currently number 4 in New Jersey. And just think about that, right? Losers round 1 of top 32, so the loser gets 25th place. It's between the number 4 player in New Jersey and I believe the number 5 player in New Jersey. That's crazy.
To end this off, would you like to make one final prediction
For Tri-State
for
Showdown.
Tri-State Showdown?
Listen, right now we have Sinister, Mercury, WebJP, Zamba, Cody, Bobo, and Syrup in the winner's bracket. I think Syrup is currently the favorite to win this. He has been pretty much unfazed throughout this whole entire bracket. As a matter of fact, Syrup has only lost one set this whole tournament. So I think he is definitely a contender, but watch out for WebJP. He hasn't lost a single set so far.
That's true.
I'll definitely keep your eyes peeled if you're monitoring this tournament.
For likely wins, I'd say Syrup, JP, Zamba. I say Zamba's been falling off a little bit, so no offense to Zamba, but I'm gonna say not that he cares. But
Shout out to Zamba, man.
Shout out to Zamba.
He's gone to some of the TCNJ tournaments, which is awesome.
but I'm gonna say Syrup. I agree with you. But for who I want to win, my boy Jack. They say Wolf can't do it anymore, but my boy Jackal. I am begging you, behind the
He
soundboard,
could.
lock in.
He could
I don't
do
know
it.
if you can beat Syrup, but I think you can do everybody before then. And if you can do that, you can probably do Syrup too. So
Yeah.
please lock in.
Listen, we'll see what happens, but for now, that's the Tri-State Showdown at number 2.
Thank you very much, Noah. Woo! And that concludes our very first show. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Tune in next week, Tuesday, between 4 and 5 p.m. We're going to give you more coverage, more fun things like this, and more predictions and many more. So, I'm Owen, Oscar Wilde Fan 69 at tournaments.
And